Alright, so I was just talking to some security guards, and I was told that I should move my bike because it was in a dangerous area. The homeless camp is over there right now, and I guess tensions are pretty high. There's the PetSmart and the Ross. The fact that the security guard, or like the police, I guess, told me that I might want to move my bike surprised me because I didn't think that the problem was actually that bad here with tensions. But what they did say was that the eviction is tomorrow. So tomorrow or the next day, everyone's going to be gone. They're going to be kicked out. And when I asked a little bit about, I asked him if it would be possible to conduct an interview, and he kind of laughed at me. He's like, said that there's some characters and that most people don't want to talk. I'm hoping that that's because they're police, but honestly, I feel like not many people want to be on video. What I'm really hoping for is that someone wants their story heard, and someone wants to hear, or wants other people to hear what this place means to them. Yeah, so I'm gonna go move my bike over to the officers by the door of the Ross, and I'm gonna see if I can get an interview. If not, I'll let you know what else I find out. I was wondering if you would like advise against me trying to interview someone, or how would I go about doing that in the best way possible?
I can help you out and introduce you to somebody.
That's
in
perfect.
Just a second. Yeah.
So what's your job here?
I work for the city, and we're closing this camp down tomorrow.
Okay.
And we're trying to get everybody into alternative shelter options. And I've been working on that with my colleagues, and it's been an incredibly difficult process and very stressful. But we're getting through it
Yeah.
as we can. Are you comfortable coming all the way down?
Oh yeah, no problem.
Who's doing projects? And you came to mind as somebody who might be able to talk to you about your experience here?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
What kind of project is it?
It's a video interview actually.
Video interview, okay.
It's just for my class really, but
It's probably going to be posted online, right?
yeah, just to link it.
That's for the world, really. Everything's, as soon as it goes on the computer.
There's nothing private anymore.
As soon as it goes on the computer, it gets connected on the internet, it goes global.
Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, I guess so. It depends. I mean, if I can have some input on, depends on what kind of questions you got, but yeah.
I want to know what this place means to you, and I guess a little bit of your background, and I guess how you ended up here today. It's just your story, and like whatever you want to share is things that you feel passionate about.
If you can do it while I need to keep packing stuff up. If you can do it while I kind of in the middle of all my
That would be good.
cleaning stuff. Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
Nathan, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right,
you.
good luck.
Mind if I like put my stuff down on the just like my backpack and stuff right here?
Yeah, you probably should put it. Well, let me finish bringing this out. Security's an issue here. You'll lose that in a second. So look, some trailers and all kinds of crap. So this place is kind of just a, didn't have any much of a choice really. Other than I've been living out of my truck for about a year, and when I first came here, I still had my truck, and I've been sick of my truck. It's like, as far as sleeping in cars, that was actually probably one of the more comfortable cars I've ever slept in. You could lean back pretty far, but not all the way. So this place was, and I've been gathering tents and things like that for a while, so I had a nice setup. I was kind of prepared to move out of my truck, and I wanted to be able to just be able to lay down. It's kind of a feeling. Plus, a lot of my friends had moved here, and when you're in a truck, you usually have to, you're pretty much alone. You only have one other person there, and it's such a small. My truck's such a tight, intimate thing. You don't let anybody in there unless you really trust them, you know. So and that narrows it down to not that many people. So most of the time I'm kind of by myself. So this was just kind of a little bit of a social upgrade for me, plus just, you know, it's actually a little more stable, you know. I never really panned out, but the idea was I was hoping to be able to, you know, I'm a builder and a maker and carpenter and fabricator, and then, you know, I wanted to be able to like make things, and, you know, stuff like this, you know, this is like my, you know, just a piece of scrap steel I found, but it's actually, believe it or not, an ideal anvil.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're gonna make anything, an anvil and like a workbench is like kind of the first thing you need. You can't really do that out of your truck. So that was kind of what I was hoping to do, was being able to have some kind of a shop, finish a couple, you know, not any kind of production or anything like that, but finish a couple projects that I'd been sitting around floundering for a while. That never really panned out. Stuff was kind of high here, so I couldn't really accumulate too much stuff, you know, just get taken. So, or unless I had someone watching it stop all the time.
Do you have buddies that watch your stuff for you?
Well, sometimes, I mean, if I did have a buddy watch my stuff all the time, I could do stuff like that. But no, I never. You know, people have people have lives to lead. They can't. It's always. You know, I'm going to pay somebody to sit around and watch my stuff.
Yeah.
Can't really do that.
Have you had stuff taken often?
Oh yeah, I've had. I mean, everything. Every tool I've ever owned, my truck, everything's been taken. You know, I had a nice. You know, I'm going to be 49 in 2 weeks.
You do not look 49, man.
Thank you. And I've been doing carpentry and construction and fabrication in the trades almost 30 years. So 27 years, something like that. Yeah, and this is the end of the first year, my first full year of homelessness.
Okay.
The end of this in Canada. So, where it's going up. Anyways, yeah, so I had a decent collection of tools. I can do it was a total, I mean, it sounds logical now, but it's something I never really, part of my imagination that I didn't really exercise much, but like, I try to encourage people like, what can you do? Imagine what you can do. What's your target? What do you want? Think about that, you know, and try to get as close as you can, like a target, get as close as you can to the target. And it's, so, think about like, preparing for like what I could lose wasn't really like what I trained myself to do, you know. That's what I probably should have been doing. You know, have a nice, basically a decent shop of 3 or 4 different trades. You know, electrical tools, basic carpentry tools, concrete tools, you know, some simple plumbing tools. You know, things like that to basically nothing, to no drills. I had a nice screwdriver set, and I had that for 2 days. And it got taken. So it's been a big learning curve trying to figure out how to make stuff without any tools and start all over again. So, anyways, so I'm actually okay with kind of leaving here because, you know, if I find some other place, maybe I can establish more security.
Do you know where you're headed?
Huh?
Do you know where you're headed?
Well, I'm going to the River Street thing for a little while, but they have this stipulation that's totally anti-American that I can't really live with forever. That you can't leave. You have to leave. Take a shuttle to leave the property, and they drop you off. I don't know where they drop you off. They drop you off somewhere else. You can't just walk out the door. Which is,
so there's just no freedom.
Live with that. That's just, you know, I mean, I'm gonna live with it for a week or so, a couple weeks, whatever. But until I can get, I've got a friend at the spot that's, you know, until we can get set up there, you know, there's gonna be, you know, there's always just like a transitional curve, you know, until that transition's done. When I'll stay there. But as soon as I get set up to the other place, I'm out of there. It's just, I mean, it's nice. They've got. You know, there's something just secure. They got tents. They got breakfast and dinner, which is nice. But trade that for just freedom, you know, come and go as you please.
Yeah.
I don't know. How would you take that? I mean, if it's
No,
not,
I totally agree. I feel like
I mean, they're doing what they have to do to protect themselves, liabilities, everything. I mean, especially when you have lawyers run the world now, and everybody, no one's responsible for themselves. They blame everybody. They did what they had to do to keep people from suing them, and that was how they dealt with it. Plus, you know, the place is right on Highway 9. You know, so I could easily see some drunk idiot, you know, walk out the door and get hit by a car and then sue the city, which is, shit like that happens. Doesn't seem right, though. When, you know, he's not responsible for himself. But anyways, that's what I have to deal with now. So, but you know, I've been camping since I was a kid. I've been to Burning Man a couple times. Just camping's no way of life for me, but permanently, that's something I really had thought think about either. And just hygiene is. There's plenty of soap and there's plenty of water, but there is no hot water on demand, which is one thing. Just again, you don't think about what you're not gonna have, and it's hot water is what I don't have, and I wish I had. And the biggest problem I see now around me and facing me is housing prices. Housing prices are ridiculous. You know, my parents' generation, and this is what I hope. Anybody that watches this, I hope is where they get inspired, and what should, you know, motivate somebody to do something else about it. The previous generation could expect, on average, to pay about 20% of their income on housing. Or another metric is whatever your annual income was or is, you could expect to pay around you could buy a home for about the same as what your annual income was. That's gone. You know, someone that's making a good living now, someone's making $100,000 a year, it's a good living. But there are no homes for $100,000. That used to be the case. My parents' generation, that used to be that case. And my dad was in the 70s. This is a good example, like how wages have stagnated. My father, college degree, went to work for the military as a private citizen. In 74, I remember seeing a pay stub of his. He was making $40,000 a year. You know, that's where church works out to about $25 an hour. It's 2000 and, you know, before I, you know, get my hair, 2000 and, you know, let's say 16 or 17, I was making about that much, you know, almost 50 years later, and, you know, I'm making about $40,000 a year. So wages have completely stagnated, and housing prices are crazy. You know, even like I said, if someone that's making $100,000, they can get a home, but they're spending 80% or 90% of their income on the house. That's ridiculous. And that, you know, this area, Santa Cruz, and Santa Cruz area, all the big metropolitan areas in the country, in the world, are similar metrics, similar price range. But even if you're in a, you know, some area that's not like that, it's still that ratio is still not, you know, it's still out of reach for most people to buy a home. The battles that I will fight, though, is this battle, like, you know, and I don't really like to put it a battle, but what I will do is empower other people to own their own homes, and I can do that. I can make a good living making tiny homes. Profit margin is best that I've ever seen. And at the same time, if you can afford to pay rent, you know, let's say $1,000 a month. If you can pay $1,000 a month in rent, or even $600, if you can afford $600 a month in rent, you can own a tiny home, you know, in about 10 years. You know, it's like, you know, it's been a while since I've looked at it. Like I said, a couple of years, but the market, but I can build a tiny house, a good one, a trailer, you know, like a 20-foot. It seems to be about the right happy medium. You have everything you need: full kitchen, full bathroom, nice big sleeping area, and like a living area, and it's not too huge to pull. It's not unreasonable to pull. You still need a truck and stuff like that, but, you know, completely finished these things are going for anywhere from $50,000 to $75,000, depending on how tricked out it is, right? And my costs, and some of the things that I'd be adding to this industry, I could build one of these things for half that price, $25,000 to $30,000, all day long. So that's conservatively, I think you could build one in like 2-3 months. That's an estimate. I've been doing estimates for a while now, but I could probably reduce that. The more experience I get, work out some kinks and bugs. That's what I need. I want to do something that's meaningful to the world, not just me or my neighborhood or whatever. I want, that's it. I don't want to be famous. I just want to do something that's meaningful, at least if it's to me and to someone else. And I guess it wasn't meaningful enough to add on a second floor or another bedroom to some rich guy's house. That's basically all I've been doing, for that 30 years. I learned a lot, learned how to build a lot of things, and I realized where my specialties, and they just like perfectly go transition into the tiny house. But anyways, that's what I want to do, and so it's kind of ironic that a homeless home builder. So it kind of drives me nuts not being able to do all this stuff. So
I love that, man.
Anyway, that's enough of my thing. That's what I want to do. So if you got any friends that want to join my team and want to build houses, I'll take them on and show them how to do it.
Have there been any fires?
There was one right next to me. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I helped my neighbor move in. And then 2 days after he moved in, he fell asleep and knocked over a candle. And I was awakened to that neighbor yelling at me, telling me to get the fuck out. And I stand up and look, and where there was a tent, there was a flame, an equivalent size flame, and the winds were blowing right at me. And luckily I was still in a daze and a half awake, and my neighbor across from me I had just been gifted a fire extinguisher a week before, and I forgot I had it, and my neighbor found it and doused it out, and it was. The fire department was at the other end of the parking lot right when he doused it out. But if it was if it went on another minute, it would have taken over on my tent too. Yeah. Another feature that I used to have, take for granted, is being able to solder. But anyway, right there's where the batteries went. I had 2 springs, but those, I'm on the second upgrade right there. But that's a real simple, just 2 leads come off of that. But it's a heat sink from a computer, from a South Bridge on a motherboard. Those are 2 LED emitters from a lantern that someone threw away. I've got enough LEDs to fill up that box, right? Just so people throw stuff away. And usually the switch has gone bad or something gone corroded, but the emitters are still good. Yeah. So anyways, I found those emitters. Found these terminal blocks from, I can't remember what it was. This is a switch from a vacuum cleaner. And this is the box. Used to have driver bits, drill driver bits, but it already had the holes already in it from something else. And I just, I had no drill, but I would just, took a hot nail and pushed through and just kind of carved it out. This is from some camera strap. This one, I did have just a bungee, but I upgraded that. But this thing is what I call Jesus Christ bright. If I turn this thing on, I'm walking down, and people are like, Jesus Christ, turn that, get that out of my face. I had to do that.
There's hot dogs at the top of the hill.
Huh?
Hey, it's
man,
the metal guy.
What's up, man? You guys doing stuff up there?
Yeah, they got some hot dogs up there and some chips, some water. Hey, am I live?
What's your name, man?
Jacob.
Jacob, you want to go get these guys? You serve food every once a month. It's really good.
I don't know what Saturday's going to look like. I know they're trying to move you guys out.
Oh, we're out of here. I'm leaving tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. So
we'll still be bringing some oatmeal out somewhere. We'll probably start over at the railroad tracks and then maybe try to hit the park over at the flat. Well, actually, I think they're going to shut the park down before then too.
Yeah, I'm going to be heading to the River Street camping for a little while.
Yeah.
But
Close and stuff, and I just walked right by your tent. I went to the wrong tent, nobody was there, and then a whole bunch of people saw it.
Well, that happens. These guys, look at it. Their place quadrupling in size. His place quadrupling in size. That place doubled, and I stayed the same the whole time. And it kind of gets overlooked now. So there was about a month ago, there was this crazy land grab that I just kind of ignored. But anyway, that's what happened.
We'll get something to eat.
Okay.
Can I help out?
I got it. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. Did you grab your backpack and all that stuff?
I got it. I got it. Thank you.
Well, they sound like animals howling among the bushes, huddled together beneath the nettles, and he knows exactly what the nettles are. They are nameless fools, outcasts from society. And now they mock me with vulgar songs. Well, they're not, but he deserves to be mocked. Mock him. They taunt me. Taunt him. They despise me and won't come near me except to spit in my face. Please, negative. For God has cut my browsing, he has humbled me, so they have thrown off all restraint. These outcasts oppose me to my face, they send me sprawling, and they lay traps in my path. Rick, you are the trap in my path, man. But I love you for that. They block my road. They get in the way of the hot dogs, and they do everything they can to destroy me. Part of that is parenthetical. That's not part of the Bible. The hot dog part, excise.
No.
They know I have no one to help me. Well, I've got a couple. Yeah, Yo-Yo will help me in a second.
Is that the dog's name?
They know, yes, yep, Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo is the dog. They know I have no one to help me, it says. But Yo-Yo, they come at me from all directions. They jump on me when I'm down. I live in terror now, says Nate. Says Nate every single night of his life. My honor has blown away in the wind, and my prosperity has vanished like a cloud. My honor, this is what I beseech you in court today. My honor. Oh. Anyway, I don't mean any of that stuff about the dog's turn.
I've learned to only listen to 10% of what you said.
Are green. Okay, we gotta cut it.
All right.
Just because.
No, that was.
Green. Did you see that?
He's a ham, right?
That was great.
It's good. It's a good video, right?
Oh wait, what was your name again?
Greg Bankson.
Greg. Nice to meet you, man. I'm Jacob.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Jacob. I've seen you somewhere. We talked, I think, once or twice. Maybe
Possibly
somewhere.
like downtown Santa Cruz.
Yep.
All
yep.
right.
What this place means to me is it's a place that I didn't really feel like coming to because I had a beautiful place. I lived on the ocean. I lived right on the beach. But the chief of police, Andy Mills, chief of police, Santa Cruz, PD. Yeah, he said, "Hey, Greg, you and your friends, why don't you get off the beach and come live at this place? It's called Ross Camp. It's called Perfection." And I said, "You're fucking stupid, motherfucker." I didn't say that.
Killed my dog.
Andy Mills ate his dog, actually.
Yeah. Woof.
It was still half. Woof. Woof. Okay, but hey, Andy. You know, actually, because I did it in at the city council meeting, I did say, hey, thank you, Andy, for inviting us here because this is where we're at, man.
This is where we are at. That's correct.
But I know because if we have a sensitive microphone, and actually we could edit the sound later. Thank you, Andy, because what this place means to me is the people here, all these people in line in front of me and behind me. And this is like a linear thing. It's a stretch in time of human life. People exist. We don't have just a single point in time where you want us to be what you want us to be. We are a continuum, and this is the stretch of life. And we are a continuum, and we will continue on. And we will never stop coming to you because you never stop coming to us. We're not forgotten people. We are here. We will always be here. And the next Andy Jr., we're going to be here for you too, okay? Because we don't ever stop, because we don't ever give up freedom. And that's what this place is about. And these are my beautiful, beautiful neighbors and friends, except for that one, kind of ugly. Yep, see? Turned his head. He knows. You know, some people are uglier than others.
Man, you know everyone's name, man.
No.
How long have you been here for?
Nobody has a name. I mean, what is a name? A name is an assignment. An assignment is, my assignment is...
What did your mother call you? How's that?
Got some sass.
Nate!
Nate?
But I reject that name because, man, that name is... No, actually, this is a genius.
It makes things so complicated. He wanted to get your name. And he got off about what is a name.
I was asking what this place means to you.
I know. I mean, what is meaning? Can you talk about meaning? Because, I mean... this guy in terms of mean. This guy is mean. He's as mean as they get. Meaning, parenthetically speaking.
Meaning, understanding of.
Okay. Thank you.
About the definition.
Thank you. And and also what this place means is I have hope. Her name's Hope. That's my book. I think that's my book. And that's also my dad, by the way. See the Arizona hat? That's my dad.
Yeah.
My dad's church group. That's it. This is the men's group from Valley Vineyard, and they do come and they serve food. And they're wonderful people. And this is where I get to meet. Well, I already know all these people. I come to worship with them in church. And that, hey, purple man.
No, excuse me.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Thank you. Ask him what this place means to him. 'Cause from a outside perspective, he's a father of a resident. He's doing a video project, Dad.
Do you mind if I film you?
Us?
Yeah.
I don't
mind if you're filmed?
Sure.
So what does this place mean to you?
Pardon?
What does this place mean to you? And are you sad to see it
Place
go?
of great need, and we got a lot of people here who got to be very anxious right now, not knowing where they're going to go, where they're going to be sleeping in a couple of days. That's like a place I wouldn't want to have to be. So just trying to do what Jesus would do. Help them that need help.
What was your name?
Dave.
Dave, I'm Jacob. Thank you. Appreciate it. What do you think of your friend's speech?
That's Greg. If you're not in a hurry to do anywhere, fun to hang out with. But if you want to get somewhere, like physically or contextually, you drive me freaking nuts. But I mean, he made a great video though. He made great help. This was definitely qualified as a home for me for a while. But I wasn't planning on it lasting forever. And I never really set my heart on it forever. And when I started to see a lot of people took it for granted and just being slob and just like pig slop, like just really bad. And then it just became, just annoying and just how people just took it for granted, and that's kind of why it's being shut down. And I know it's gonna happen because people just that common sense, like pathways and walkways and easements and all these things that I deal with on they're part of building codes. No one really took advantage of it, didn't know or didn't care or whatever. And that's why it's being shut down. Everything's too close, it's a fire hazard, there's no pathways, it makes fire people forget in and out. And it turns into a death trap. And there's just shit everywhere. So, I don't, on that level, I'm kind of glad the place doesn't need to be cleaned up. No resident here really has any authority over anyone else to make them do that. So this is the only way to really clean this place up. Is the ultimate authority has to continue to kick everybody out.
A way to make it better is to make it, like have painted off squares and stuff, to separate people.
Right, like roads.
Have like rules.
At least some space rules. Yeah, our chief laid it out. But like I said, this is all like basic building codes that I'm familiar with. Every municipality has. You can't let you get into a dense city like San Francisco and you put buildings right next to each other. And when they're right next to each other, like you have to do double plywood and double drywall and all this fire stuff to have buildings right next to each other. If you don't have that, then you have to have space. That's why there's a fence, and then most cities it's like 10 feet before the house starts, or 5 feet in some denser areas.
Yep.
So fence, and then 5 feet either side. That's just so fire doesn't spread from one house to the next. And roads are all, what is it? It's 11 feet. I think it's every road. know, if it gets less than that, there's a big sign that says smaller than regular, regular road. A lot of that was just ignored. There was for the first couple months there was a nice road that you could get a truck down almost all the way. Right about where my place is, where the whole thing just gets narrow. You couldn't really maintain the road. But there was, for a while, there was a road, and there were like sub-roads that split off. And then somebody planted their house right in the middle of that road, and that just changed precedent. And then people just started putting stuff everywhere, and all those little roads that were kind of common sense and just kind of no one enforced it. It just kind of happened. People just maintained this kind of natural division. But as soon as someone like ignored that, it's okay to disregard that, and everybody started disregarding it. We don't have all those kind of devices or that. Next thing a lot of people do, they'll have a thing, they'll have a bike they'll work on, or they'll have a computer they'll tear apart, or they'll have some little project they'll work on. And that's going to have people keep themselves intellectually, stimulated, but it generates, it's physical stuff, it's not, digital stuff. So that, after people are done consuming whatever stimulating thing out of it, you're left over with all this physical shit. And that's what all this stuff is. So that's something I realized about myself, when you take apart something when you're a kid and you take them apart to learn about it, well, it's exploration is what that is. It's just, but on a micro scale. I don't know what's inside this little box.
Yeah.
Never been inside here.
Yeah.
Take it apart, find out. It's the same thing. Same thing Lewis and Clark went across the country, but just on a micro scale.
But then here in the camp, it's like bicycles and stuff like that. That just kind of gets all over.
Everybody has their own thing. Bicycles happen in here in value, resale, and personal usage.
So there's like a bicycle trade.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Bicycle economy. But my thing was the electrical stuff. So everybody knew, when that was established, everybody realized like, oh, he's the LED guy. I noticed like little electronics things would just show up at my door. If someone would find something, go, oh, I know Nate, he would like this, and I wake up and there'd be something there. Oh, cool. In the same way that the country uses cars, the bicycle is the same, fills the same kind of role for homeless.
Will people like steal each other's bikes and stuff like that?
That happens to anytime you don't have any money, that's what's gonna happen. This is necessity,
How much is like what do people really trade bicycle parts for? Like what's a common trade for that?
Well, it depends on the bike. Nothing really gets over $20 here. But drugs are traded like currency.
How would you describe, I guess, the drug problem here? How has it affected you?
Well, that's a whole other subject. But the drug issue is synonymous with this community.
It's not what?
Attached, just synonymous with this, the part of this community, inherently. So you should reference a couple of videos on YouTube that I think really need to be distributed more, and that's there's
Gee, we can sit.
shit. So there's a couple experiments that have happened that were done with rats, right, and heroin use. And the one that the country has really set people's minds and set policy, stuff like that, is that the one that took a single rat, put it in a cage by itself, isolated it, basically put it in jail, and gave it a tube that would deliver heroin and a tube that would deliver food. And eventually, the rat just started stopped hitting food and started hitting heroin constantly until it died. But as many years later, someone finally realized why that was, and they took a group of rats, a whole community of rats, and they had a button that would take food and a button that would take heroin. And most of the rats sometimes they would take the heroin, But for the most part, no. They weren't using it on a daily basis. They were happy, healthy. They had a whole social network, that whole thing. So that's what they realized, that the heroin was a substitute for social interaction, and that's what it fulfilled. And in Vietnam, this was played out in
The soldiers, they would use heroin.
The whole country and the politicians were afraid that there's all these. They knew that there was all this heroin use going on in Vietnam. 19-year-old kids your age. They've never done heroin their whole life until they get to Vietnam, but they're outside. They're in a strange land with people that they might have gone through boot camp with, being shot at, But there's the super cheap heroin right there, So they would take that to get some kind of sense of comfort. So a lot of guys got addicted to it, but everybody's worried that there's going to be this huge group of addicts coming back to the country and hitting the streets, this huge, all vets are going to be addicts in the streets of the United States. But it never happened. When the vets came back, there was a noticeable percentage, it was like 10% or less, single digits of people that were new addicts in Vietnam, that stayed addicts here. But most of them, they came back and they reunited with their family and their loved ones. They dropped the heroin use right away. It never materialized.
It's because they're being social and all
because
that.
They were part of their group, the community again. Something they didn't have in Vietnam. They weren't being shot at anymore. They were with their family. Yeah. So that's what's happened. So you take all these homeless people, they're not really. You might be some of the people that are here that have a significant other are the rare few. Most people are here by themselves, and they're missing all these creature comforts. And anyways, so I think that's what this kind of was. I think it's where a lot of people can get because there was a group here. There was a social dynamic here that I didn't really anticipate. But I had neighbors. I had people I recognize, legitimately recognize as neighbors. That I never would think a homeless person would have. There was a regularity to it. Everybody already had, drug uses before they came here.
I got some clothes and stuff.
Anyways, that's the rat in the cage is what has set policy and still is policy. The rat with his family peer group isn't policy, and that's we still do that. We still get in trouble for drug use. Put him back in a smaller cage. It should be the other way around.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be ashamed. I mean, there's, for every 100 cars, there's one car that'll drive by. Actually, I've recognized there's about 10 motorcycles and about 10 cars. They'll drive by and they'll obviously over-accelerate to make an obscene amount of noise right when they drive by here. Or they'll just honk as they're driving by. The whole time they're driving by, they'll just honk. And recently there have been people who just drive like, "Fuck you! We hate every one of you motherfuckers!" And just random acts of fucking hatred just being thrown at the people that are, have the hardest time. And those are the people I want to communicate to. That's not gonna help. People are like, "Get a job." Oh, thanks a lot, Einstein. I never thought of that. But it's a much deeper problem. But those people are reacting to what society at large tells them to. You should shame these people. You should, throw these people away. These are the worst of the worst. I'll be the first to admit there are a lot of assholes here. There are a lot of people here that I don't have the emotional depth and energy to heal. And some people, their hearts are so burnt, not beyond repair. But there's a handful of people here that there are at least 4 people here that I didn't know before I came here, they're now friends, and 4 people out of 120 that I didn't meet everybody, but I recognized everybody. But I have 4 new friends that I didn't have before. So
That shows.
these are people that have, they're just as intellectual peers, and have a heart that you can appeal to. And that's kind of the cutoff for me. If there's no heart that I can appeal to, then I'm not going to waste my energy or time.
Dude, that was perfect. I really appreciate that. I'm just wondering what's all gonna happen tomorrow, like with the eviction.
Honestly, I have no idea. We haven't been told much.
We're the night shift crew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for talking.
I'll see you. Thank you.